So besides the fact that Canada Post is doing their thing, it's just like Canada in general has a bad reputation right now. And it has for many years now. It has. For one specific reason, and that is because of the person who claims to be the prime minister of our country right now. Okay? And maybe not even a lot of people outside of Canada know how bad it is. But there are some people who do pay attention and who are wise to the situation. And they like to talk shit about Canada. And I agree it's very wrong, and I disagree with the majority of it. But I just want to show this clip here of Joe Rogan here.
How about the guy in Canada that's 50 years old that identifies as a teenage girl and was competing in like young girls swimming, and they allowed him because Canada, like you live there, off the rails. You live in a communist shithole. That place is nuts. And they allow some of the most bananas trans stuff of all time. On taxpayer money in Canada, they paid for a guy to develop breast milk. Do you know about this story?
No.
Oh, yeah. Has an adopted child, paid for this person to lactate. You imagine the toxic milk that's coming out of this man tit?
Horrendous.
Like, what is in there? Like, what are you generating? You don't even have the glands for it. Like, what's actually being secreted there? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
So, Joe Rogan talks about Canada a lot, calling us the communist shithole, and we are. It's very unfortunate. We are. But the thing is, I just want people to realize something here. Yes, the country is in turmoil. Yes, we are in this mess of what could be perceived as a communist shithole. And maybe it is. But I need people out there to realize that the citizens, the majority of the citizens, almost all of them disagree with the state in which the country is right now. I need people to understand that, yes, the country is in shambles, but the true Canadians, the majority of people who live here, we disagree with it. So when people like Joe Rogan say this shit, the rest of the viewers of the Joe Rogan podcast automatically think, oh, Canadians feel this way. This is how Canadians feel. Canadians want this shit. No, we don't want this shit. We seriously don't want this shit. But we're stuck in it right now, at least. We all want the exact same thing that you Americans have. When Donald Trump got in, Canada was so stoked. Well, I should say the majority of Canadians, the people who actually have a brain in their head, were stoked because we're like, this not only is good for America, this is good for the world. We want the same things as you guys want. But we're stuck in this fucking mess. And we want out. And we've wanted out. We've wanted out since day one. But the parliamentary system, the way in which our votes are tabulated, it's a mess. It's not anything like America and how it's done over there. It was catered in a way where it turned out not in the majority of Canada's favor. And now we've been stuck in it for so long now. Long ass time. And we still got one full year to blast through this before our next election. But by that time, for sure, Pierre's going to get in. And things are going to look up. But I just needed to clarify that. Because I see, like, there's, Sean Strickland, Joe Rogan, Yabadoopy, Ben Shapiro, like lots of people, they talk about Canada and the state of Canada, and they always say like Canada is a shithole, Canada is communist, beep, 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 bah. Canada sucks. Yes, it sucks. But you just need to understand the Canadians don't like it either. We don't like it. We don't want it. We're over it. We were over it the second it happened. So let's just make that clear. It's not the citizens, it's the government. And maybe that is already clear. Probably is. But when I heard this episode and I heard this point, I was like, because I love Joe Rogan. Of course. Who doesn't? Canada Post workers don't like him, I bet. But so when I heard Joe say this, I was like, people watching this are just gonna automatically assume Canadians want this as well, but we don't. Obviously, that bullshit, the titty milk from a man, what the fuck? We don't want that. That's redonkulous. Nobody wants that. And also, no one wants the fucking men in the little girl's locker room either. That shit's baloney. It's more than baloney. It's fucking disgusting. And it's horrendous. And obviously it shouldn't happen. So it's not Canadians, it's fucking government, dude. And it's the few individuals, and obviously there's more than what we think, that agree with it that are also the problem. But they're lost and they're confused and they're not thinking for themselves. If anyone actually advocates for men producing titty milk and allowing them to identify as little girls to go into locker rooms, if they think that's okay, then there's something wrong with them. Their mind has been tainted. There's no way. There's no way any sane, rational person would think that that's okay. And there's no way any sane, rational person would allow someone else to think that way and allow someone else to just have that view. There's certain views. Well, fuck, I guess if we're talking free country, but like the thing is, you can have a free country, yes, speak your mind, of course, free speech all the way, bopski boopin'. But when it actually affects someone's life, specifically a child's life, where it puts their life in danger or harm, then you can't have those thoughts. And if you think that those thoughts are not harmful because the old man who identifies as a little child is actually a child, like if you think he actually is a child because he believes it, then you're insane. And you need to go in a mental institution. And I'm sorry. That's not okay. You're mentally unstable. And you need to go into a facility. And you need to be locked up, and the key needs to be swallowed by an elephant so that when it does come out in its poop, someone will have to dig through the poop if they want that key back. That's just how it is, dude. I don't make the rules. I'm so sorry, but I don't make the rules.
Watch this full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast by clicking the link in bio.